Welcome to episode 12 of The Closest They Came, a series where we take a look back on the days when drivers, winless at NASCAR's highest level, came painfully close to etching their names into the history books. Today we'll be looking back on Scott Riggs' race in the 2006 Coca Cola 600 from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Riggs would begin his stock car racing career in mini stocks before moving on to late models, eventually becoming a track champion at Southern National Speedway. His next step would be in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, making his first starts in 1999 before running full-time in 2001 for Jim Smith's Ultra Motorsports, where he would claim 5 victories. Moving up to the Busch Series in 2002, he would join PPC Racing for the next 2 seasons, eventually earning a total of 4 victories and nearly claiming the 2003 championship if not for an early crash in the season finale at Homestead. He would debut in the Cup Series in 2004 driving for MB2 Motorsports, before moving to Evernham Motorsports along with his sponsor Valvoline for the 2006 season. By the time Memorial Day weekend came around in 2006, Riggs had made 81 starts, earning 3 top 5 and 9 top 10 finishes up to that point. In qualifying, he would earn his second career pole, besting the field by averaging 187.865 miles per hour on his timed lap. The race would be slowed almost immediately after contact between Dale Jarrett and Robbie Gordon would send Jarrett into the turn 3 wall on the first lap. After going back green, Riggs would show off the strength of his car, holding on to the lead through the caution for Tony Stewart's lap 33 accident.
There's Riggs, the leader, 1.5 seconds back, Jimmy Johnson. Scott Riggs has led every one of the 16 laps so far. You know, Jarrett's the only car out of this race at 27 laps, and they've all been led by the Valvoline Dodge of Scott Riggs.
What I was going to say, yeah, the Scott Riggs, the 10 car, just think about this race car. 11 races ago, they had to go home. They watched the Daytona 500 on television. They missed the show. He has led 27 laps. That's 27 more laps than he has led all year long. That's the first laps he's led in 2006. Every lap so far. Tony
Stewart. And caution will wave for the second time today.
I tell you, that poor guy can't catch a break.
For this event, the Cup Series would require a smaller 13-gallon fuel cell that required more frequent pitting. Riggs' team would elect to make a 2-tire stop and would regain the lead following the pit sequence.
39 laps complete this time by Scott Riggs after the pit stops completed is back out front in the Coca Cola 600. Green flag as they come under our DLP Ultimate Picture Cam. Riggs driving away from the field again. His teammate Mayfield second.
Ryan Newman would spin on lap 48, bringing out the third caution. Unfortunately, Riggs would stall the car on the subsequent pit stop and fall back to 5th after having led 47 of the 49 laps to begin the event.
Scott Riggs is going to take fuel only. He's got a pile of people coming around the outside of him because his car has stalled.
So he will not get off pit road first.
With the car trimmed out to run up front, he would struggle in traffic on this run, falling back to 10th.
He's backing up a bit now. Apparently his pit stop did not produce an adjustment to his liking. That's his teammate Casey Kane going past. Kyle Busch puts the Kellogg Chevy past Scott Riggs.
Kurt Busch would crash exiting turn 2 on lap 66. Following pit stops, Riggs would restart in 7th on lap 71. From here, he would begin moving forward slightly, getting around Gordon for 6th and Kenseth for 5th before the yellow would come out for the 5th time on lap 93 for debris in turn 3. A 2-tire stop would put Riggs back out front.
Thanks, Matt. We're back under green. And one of the tail end Charlies on this restart, as Scott Riggs gets away, is Matt Kenseth, who also had to come back to pit road to replace a missing lug nut.
His time out front would be brief as Jeff Green would get by him on lap 97. His tires would not hold up well, and he would fall out of the top 5 by the time Paul Menard spun on lap 112.
You see him back there, he's just backing the gas a little quick.
almost a mirror of Ryan Newman in the 12 car.
Yeah.
Didn't hit anything. Ooh. Boy, close there with Dave Blaney in the 22, though.
A two-tire stop would put him back to 7th.
Decisions about the adjustments to be made to this car, and oh my goodness, what a pile of cars.
14 laps complete. 286 to go. Take that volume control and give it a crank.
The seventh caution of the day would come out on lap 130 for debris. A fuel-only stop would regain the lead for Riggs for the lap 134 restart.
Not that brave right now, Dick. And 35-year-old Scott Riggs pitted and took fuel only, and that let him exit pit road with the lead. He is having the absolute best run today that he has had all year. Won the Open last week, decided to not bring that car to this event. This is a bit of a different car than he had there. They think it's a better car. Gee, it sure looks it, Mike.
And Dick, I like that strategy on Riggs' part particularly because since the green flag wave, when he's had clean air going over both ends of that car, it's run extremely well. But when he's been in the pack, it has not run well at all.
Gosh, you look at Mark Martin. He just drove off and left them. And we've seen Scott do that a number of times. He's got cars on the hood, but he's got horses underneath there.
Right.
Carl Edwards would spin in turn 2 on lap 144, bringing the leaders back down pit road.
A problem for our pole sitter on that pit stop, Scott Riggs. Dick?
Scott Riggs came in leading that deal, Mike, but they had trouble getting fuel in the car. They took no tires. They made a minor chassis adjustment, but the fuel just did not seem to go in well. And as a result, when the green flag drops, Riggs will take it in 10th spot, lost 9 positions.
After Brian Vickers would crash on lap 161, Riggs' team would elect to make some adjustments on the pit stop, dropping him back even further. The race would go back to green on lap 166, kicking off a 37-lap run, culminating in green flag stops. Clint Boyer would leave his stall with the catch can still attached and bring out the 10th caution on lap 202. After a great stop, Riggs would line up in 4th place behind the tail-end cars for the lap 209 restart.
Just 2, but they decided to take 4. That was very, very close for Greg Biffle.
Now here you see the race off pit road. Looks like Scott Riggs, Rodney Childress in that group. They'll gain 6th position.
208 laps complete, 312 miles. Here we go. Green flag.
It's going to get pretty exciting right here because you got some pretty good cars up here. Tail end the lead lap.
The race would be slowed once more when Travis Kvapil would lose a right rear tire and scatter debris on lap 235. Riggs would come out in 3rd on the subsequent pit stops. He would fire off well after the lap 239 restart, passing Hamlin for 2nd on lap 242.
Scott Riggs back in the picture, 3rd place. It's about to become Dodge City. Here comes Scott Riggs trying to pair up with his teammate Casey Kane. Hamlin comes down to the low side, the block, not anymore.
Yeah, Jeff, just follow up on your comment there. 3 and 4, we always like to run high, and it's working again tonight.
Johnny Sauter would bring out the 12th caution on lap 248 after losing a left rear tire. He would lead lap 249 during the pit sequence and ultimately come off pit road in 2nd after a fuel-only stop.
That time around, gas only and a minor adjustment to loosen the automobile up.
Now, boys, the plot thickens because now everyone can make it to lap 400 on 2 pit stops.
The race would resume on lap 253.
Well, as we always say, the cream rises to the top. I think we're going to find out about that here very shortly.
Casey Kane and Scott Riggs just ran the 2 fastest laps of this race.
And we were running in the mid-30s, 30.5, just ran 29.68.
Casey had gas only on the previous stop. He's away. Decent stop for the Dodge boys, Mike.
A lot of pit stops. Greg Biffle and Travis Kvapil. Jeff Gordon's come down pit road. Here's Jeff Green, Reed Sorensen, Clint Boyer, Sterling Marlin, Scott Riggs, and Jeff Burton all on pit road.
Scott Riggs has been warned about his speed coming down pit road. This crew doesn't get on television a lot, but I'm going to tell you what, today they have been absolutely flawless. No mistakes by crew, no mistakes by driver either. They've got the best pit stall in the place. It is the very first one on pit road. No one ever parks in front of him.
Another caution for debris would come out on lap 305. He would take 2 tires on his stop when a few other teams would take fuel only.
Well, Scott Riggs has never won a points-paying Nextel Cup race. Tonight may well be his best chance. He has finished high as 2nd in one of these things. He has just taken 2 tires. He pitted out of 2nd position. He will not be leading when they get the green flag. A couple of cars have beaten him off pit road.
He would line up in 5th for the lap 309 restart, making his way up to 2nd by lap 313 when Casey Mears would get loose off of turn 4 and collect Kyle Busch.
Casey Mears in the 42 car, he's going to spin.
He hit the wall real hard, Larry. 42 did, 5 did.
A lot of damage to that 42 car.
Following pit stops, he would line up in fourth for the lap 320 restart. Riggs would really come to life on this run and looked the strongest he had all night, quickly getting up to third before getting around Matt Kenseth and then setting his sights on teammate Kasey Kahne for the lead.
Scott Riggs has closed right up to the leader. Riggs won the pole. They are teammates. How hard will they run each other?
He would get around Kahne and take the lead on lap 337.
Wins. They've all come from the pole. Scott Riggs won the pole for this race, and he is once again in the lead.
Dick, what are they saying?
Well, just before he passed for the lead, Scott Riggs was told if he had anything left, now was the time to show it, and he just stepped on the gas and off he went into the lead. The reason why he had to show it, the 48, Jimmy Johnson, was coming.
Looking like he had the car to beat with one fuel run remaining, it would all come undone during a disastrous final pit sequence.
Scott Riggs is trying to score the 9th 600 win from the pole. Jeff Gordon did it 3 times. David Pearson did it twice. Fred Lorenzen, Buck Baker, Jimmy Johnson. Scott Riggs wants his name on that list.
Now, we know we may be coming down to that final stop.
Dick?
Riggs is in, but he did not get into his pit as well as he might. It was a case of dodgems, and now the 10 car with Riggs has stalled. He had been the leader. It had been a flawless day until just now. Oh dear, right at the very tail end. There, the engine caught. He's running again. Oh, what a disappointment.
The 10 car's troubles continues, took equipment away from his pit box. He'll have to come back in for at least a pass through. I would say his night as far as winning this race, Dick Berggren, is done.
He's led 90 laps. Here is his undoing on this most recent pit stop. The car will not fire, and everybody wants to help.
It all started when he stalled the car. All right, watch the jack man right there. He's still got the jack in his hand. Look at the fuel man. He's still got the fuel can. That's taking equipment out of the pit box. That's what's warranted the penalty.
Despite winding up at the back of the lead lap cars, the speed of his car would get him backed up to 13th by the time the checkers came out over his teammate Kasey Kahne, who would claim his 3rd victory of the season and 4th of his career. Riggs would go on to score 1 more top 5 and 7 more top 10 finishes before making his final Cup Series start in 2013 for Levine Family Racing. Scott Riggs was a top prospect after bursting onto the NASCAR scene with immense success at the lower levels in the early 2000s. By the time he made his entrance into the Cup Series, he had without a doubt earned the respect of the NASCAR community at large. Unfortunately, constant turnover and shifting of personnel undermined the few flashes of brilliance he was able to show behind the wheel.